During the middle of the Tang dynasty, China was ravaged by civil war. Nearly 2/3 of the population is believed to have died. In the midst of this horror, a spiritual practice began to grow, sitting with the phrases of the enlightened masters. Why did this emerge at such a time? Well, koans are portable reminders, phrases we carry in our minds that point us to an unconditional peace that is always present, regardless of circumstances or whatever may be prevailing. Even in the surrounds of catastrophe, there is a level of peace, clarity and contentment available to us at any moment. It is already a part of our consciousness of who we truly are. A monk wandered China on a pilgrimage, not with a destination in mind, but simply allowing the wind to carry him. During his travels, he met a Zen master. At the Zen master's monastery, the following exchange occurred. The master asked, "Where are you going?" The monk replied, "On a pilgrimage." The master said, "Why do you go on a pilgrimage?" The monk replied, "I don't know." To which the master replied, "Not knowing is most intimate." It's okay to let go of knowing. What becomes possible when we don't know? What does not knowing make room for? Can this phrase help quiet the mind, to listen, to hear, without needing to name what is heard, and to be intimate with the present moment? Not knowing is most intimate. A jealous monk chased after the newly appointed patriarch through the mountains. Jealous over the patriarch having received the robe and bowl, symbolizing the transmission of the Dharma, he sought to take them by force. The patriarch placed the robe and bowl on a rock and invited the monk to lift them. However, the monk found them impossibly heavy. Unable to lift them, became overwhelmed with shame. The monk then says to the patriarch, "I did not come for a bowl. I came for awakening, for the Dharma. I ask for your teaching instead of the bowl." The patriarch then posed this question to the monk. "Quickly, before your thoughts set in, what was your original face from before your parents were born? In this moment, what is here that has always been here? What is your original face? What came before ancestry itself and remains unchanged? What is your original face?" Which way to Mount Taan? Taan, a sacred mountain. To find Mount Taan is considered to be a spiritual milestone. An elderly lady stood by the side of the road on the way to Mount Taan. When asked the question, which way to Mount Taan, would answer cryptically, or with such simplicity, she showed herself an enlightened master. Keep going as you are. Don't worry, you're on the right path, never giving concrete directions. What is the way to Mount Taan? What if we stop looking for answers? What if the question itself is complete? What if we have never left the way? Which way is Mount Taan? What is the way? Is Taan not already here? Which is the way to Mount Taan? After a profound awakening in his youth, Wei Nung travels to a monastery to study the texts that sparked his insight. While working in the rice shed, he overhears a monk recite a poem. "We must polish the mirror of the mind to keep it free from dust." But based on his own experience, Wei Nung feels the poem is wrong. So he writes his own. "There is no mirror, there is no mind. Where could dust ever settle?" These two poems reflect different approaches to spiritual practice. One suggests continual effort is needed to maintain clarity. The other points to the insight that there never was a self to polish. The question remains, How do we reconcile the doing of practice with the truth of emptiness? Every koan is a gateless gate. Each is called this because it points to awakening as something always accessible, something that has always been here. No gate needs to be crossed, nothing passed through except our own realization. A koan can be met anywhere, at any time, because it does not lead to something distant or hidden. It points directly to what is already present. Meditation works in the same way. It may seem like a gateway into a calmer way of being, but it is not a passage from one place to another. Practice simply allows us to notice what is already here. There is nowhere to go and nothing to attain. Only the gradual recognition of clarity and ease that has always been available. Walk through the gateless gate.